In August 1944, the fate of the German army in Normandy hung by a thread. Trapped between advancing Allied forces, tens of thousands of German soldiers struggled to escape through a narrow corridor near the towns of Falaise, Trun, and Chambois. Closing that gap would decide the battle. Standing in the way were men with nowhere left to lose. They were Polish. The 1st Polish Armored Division, commanded by General Stanisław Maciek, fought not only for victory in France, but for the freedom of a homeland already crushed and occupied by Nazi Germany. On Hill 262, later known as the Mace, Polish units were ordered to block the final escape route out of the Falaise Pocket. What followed was one of the most savage engagements of the Normandy campaign. The Poles were isolated, surrounded, outnumbered. German forces launched wave after wave of desperate attacks, supported by tanks, artillery, and infantry units fighting for survival. Polish armor dug in on the high ground, ammunition ran low, casualties mounted, tanks burned in the fields below. Yet the line held. For 2 days, Polish gunners fired until barrels overheated. Infantry fought hand-to-hand as German troops surged up the slopes. Airstrikes roared overhead, the ground shook with explosions. At times, Polish units were reduced to firing captured German weapons and rationing bullets. Still, they refused to withdraw. Beneath them, the valley became a killing ground. German columns attempting to flee were shattered by artillery, air attacks, and tank fire. Vehicles clogged the roads. Wounded men crawled through smoke and debris. By August 21st, Allied forces finally linked up with the embattled Poles. Relief columns found them exhausted, bloodied, and victorious. The corridor was sealed. The German 7th Army was destroyed as a fighting force. The cost was terrible. The 1st Polish Armored Division suffered heavy losses, but their sacrifice ensured the decisive defeat of German forces in Normandy and cleared the way for the liberation of Paris. For the Polish soldiers, liberation was bittersweet. They had freed a foreign land, while their own country remained under Soviet domination. Yet their stand at Falaise became legendary. They fought without retreat, without hope of relief, and without hesitation. This was not just a battle. It was an act of defiance. Poles in the West, who closed the jaws of the Falaise Pocket and helped end the war in Europe.